What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Dinari. And before we get started with this another episode of the Youngbouls Podcast, I just want to let y'all know and just let y'all know that y'all should go check out Kiritsu Clothing. Kiritsu Clothing, it's by my boy Zan, man. He been doing good things and, making clothing, whatever. And he's coming out with some more, apparel coming out soon. But go check out Kiritsu Clothing. They have hoodies. They about to have some shorts, some other things in stock. But, definitely his stuff is the wave. Go check it out. Go check out the website. Tell him that Dinari sent you. And that's Kiritsu Clothing. Without further ado, let's get started with this episode of the Youngbouls Podcast. Peace.
My name is Jalen, and you tuned into the Youngbouls Podcast.
Gentlemen, welcome back. It's been a minute. It's definitely been a minute. It's your boy Dinari here. We're back for another episode of the Young Bulls Podcast, man. As you know, it's me, Dinari here, and I'm here with. I got my guest. I got my man with here. Second time on the show.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Got my man Kwengo here.
Y'all know who it is, man. Kwengo, K-Jug.
K-Jug, indeed, man. But like we said, man.
LeBron enthusiast, young boy enthusiast.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, like we said, man, it's been a minute since you've been on. I think the last episode that we had was in April. It was either April or March, but life of a college student, man, I had to step away from it, from doing a podcast for a minute. But it feels good to be back. Feels good to be back. A lot of things have happened. If you can't tell by my voice right now, I'm kind of bummed. But we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that later. Man. But before we go any further, man, what's been on your weekly rotation this week, man, Kwengo?
My weekly rotation. What have I been listening to this week?
Yeah, we already know what you've been listening to, bro. You don't even have to ask.
My fault. I'm not gonna lie. I've been listening to. I just listened to Young Boy Richest Op, man. It's the best album out right now.
Oh God.
And I've been listening a lot to Lost Files, bro. I'm trying to tell you, this one song, Time Out. It's time. I've been listening. I'm not gonna lie, my top 3 this week: Time Out, Nurse, and what's the jump called? Was it I Heard? No, Hurt My Heart by Young Boy. All 3 Young Boy songs. I'm not gonna lie, they've been at the top of my playlist this week.
That's for me, man. It's really just been a cool week. I've been listening to some Cole, of course. I've been listening to some Corday this week. Been listening to some, what else? Some Cole, Corday, some MF Doom, and I've listened to some Autumn this week. So
Okay,
yeah,
not bad.
Yeah, shout out Zion with that, because Zion put me on the Autumn. I wasn't really listening to Autumn before Zion told me about it, but shout out to Zion on that one. But yeah, but but now we're gonna talk about freshman year wrapped up, first year in college, man. So just Quengo, how you feeling about your freshman year at Temple being done with and about to be a sophomore?
Man, it was a good year, man. I learned a lot of things, played a lot of hoops. Bro, we did so much in freshman year, bro. I'm just thinking back, like, we had so many good weeks, bro. Good weekends, bro. Staying up late in the lounge.
I'm saying, yeah.
Hooping with the gang, bro, and then going to get food after, bro. Going to Chipotle.
Yeah.
Going down Center City every other weekend, man.
Yeah.
Watching the football and basketball game, man. It was a good year.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the freshman year of, here at Temple, it went by way too quick.
I mean, way too quick, bro.
Already be on pretty much vacation for the next 2 months, and then going right back to a sophomore year. It's crazy to even think about. It seems like it's so far from now, but before you know it, it's gonna be late July, and we're about to be getting ready to go back to school. But
I'm already sharp, bro. Like, I feel like the whole 4 years is gonna go by so quick.
I'm saying, bro. Freshman year, some like Quengo said, the trip to Snipes. Shout out Kev. He hooked us
Come
up.
on.
the trip to Snipes, the shadow boxing, playing the game in the lounge, watching Donovan do the hot chip challenge. That was
Oh, that was comedy, man.
watching Donovan do the hot chip challenge. Watching the playoffs, watching the going to Center City for the Super Bowl. Like that was, all of that was fun, man. Just freshman year in general, outside of classes, just hanging out with the gang and everything like that. Definitely one of the brightest spots for me, man. I'm looking forward to it for like the next 3 years, but definitely something fun for sure.
Right.
But yeah. But now we just talked about that. We're gonna get into some young boy activities, as you may call it. Ja Wick is back on the prowl, ladies and gentlemen.
John Wick is crazy.
If you thought he was done the first time, he did it again, ladies and gentlemen. As you guys know, if you follow basketball and follow Ja Morant in general, video of him on social media yet again brandishing a gun was like showed, just on his IG story. And since then, the Grizzlies have suspended him. They said they're gonna be a lengthy one, but Kwengo, I just want to get your thoughts on this, man, because even when I saw this yesterday, I was like, "There's no way he actually did this." Like, I thought it was a joke at first, and when I saw that he did it, I'm like, "What is he trying to do?" Like, I don't understand. But Kwengo, what are your thoughts about this whole thing?
He loves it, bro. He loves it, bro. He loves to do stupid stuff. I don't know, bro. The whole Josh situation, like, usually, like, a lot of people on the internet like to troll him. Like, they like to show the old pictures of him in like his backyard with his family and stuff. And they like to be like, "You're not a gangster, Demetrius." I don't really care about like if he's a gangster or not. I just know if I had a $200 million contract, I don't care what streets I'm in, bro. If you're paying me $200 million to not do that, bro, like it's so simple.
Oh, honestly, I thought that would be like the easiest.
Bro, like any dude that's actually in a gang, bro, like if you can go get any dude off the street and tell him $200 million contract to play basketball, I guarantee you he wouldn't do no stupidity like that. Ja, he's addicted to bad decisions, and the people around him are making it even worse. That's what I have to say.
I mean, for me, man, my thing is just like I don't understand. I mean, after the first time he said he has to be a better role model, I don't understand how you go from saying that to now doing this again, man. I mean, you're an NBA basketball player. You're playing in Memphis, and not even trying to bring race into it. You're black, like you're like
That's not bringing race into it. That's a fact, bro. You're black.
Yeah. But yeah, like you're black. Like the microscope, like the lens is already like closer on you than it is on players like any white player in the NBA, to be
Like
honest.
Tyler Hero, bro. No one cares.
Yeah, like
about
Tyler Hero. Like, come on, man.
But
like,
at the same time, it's not. At the same time, he's making it so easy for it not to be about race because he's dumb. Like he's slashing a gun. It's not that it's not anything about the gun though. It's not like the gun's probably not illegal. I know he's like a legal gun owner, but it's just like it's so negligent. And the league they can't have like kids out here seeing that image.
No.
Like, thinking that it's okay for you to do that, bro. It's not even practice. It's not even practicing like safe.
He got a signature shoe. He for Nike. He got endorsement deals. Like they already told you after the first time this happened, we can't be having you do this, man. And you messed. I'm not gonna lie. Because of that, he messed himself up out of a lot of money. Like he could have been eligible for a Supermax this year, but because that suspension stuff and he missed games, he didn't make an All NBA team, and he wasn't eligible for like a major extension this summer. Ja, he one could say that the fact that he got suspended messed up the team's like not morale, but like definitely messed up like their like chemistry and stuff heading into the playoffs. Because
no question, bro.
Yeah, because if you would have told me like 4 months ago that Ja would have gotten suspended for brandishing a gun, and that the Memphis team that was at one point a 1 seed was going to lose to the Lakers in the first round, I would have been like
6-2.
In 6-2. I would have been like, no way. But it's definitely sad to see because like I said, like Ja's a more role model to plenty of like many people, especially in Memphis, and to see him do that and to see him act in that sort of manner is just unbecoming, man. And I mean, obviously, like people were trying to say like, oh, he's still a kid, like come on. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're 24. You can't be doing stuff like this, man.
They're paying him to not do dumb stuff.
And
They're
he's
paying him to be smarter.
I'm saying, and he's also lucky too that he's not a star, bro. Because he's lucky too that he's a star. Because if that was like a role player on any other team or just like the 15th man, he would have been dropped immediately. Yeah. They would have been like, no, we're not even doing this. Like, he would have gotten probably like kicked off because he's like their best player and the star of the team. They're not going to do that. But he's definitely going to get a lengthy suspension. He's definitely probably going to be like, I mean, I won't be surprised if it's like the first 40 games or something like that. Maybe the first 30 or 20. But, you know, it's definitely something like, you know, really bad to look at, man. So,
yeah, I just want to say, like, last year, like, everyone keeps trying to make it like a gun thing, like a stupid thing. I think the main thing is business, bro. Like, the NBA is a business, bro. And they capitalize off the fact that they capture like the viewership from children and just fans. So like it's not marketable for Ja Morant to have like guns and stuff and be like getting in fights with fans and stuff and threatening like random people on the street, bro. Like you're making the league look bad. That's the only reason he's being suspended, because he's making the league look bad. No one cares about his gun, bro. It's probably legally owned. It's just negligence and him making the league bad. And two, this man is causing so many locker room problems with his team, because like he's causing them like you said, the microscope is now not only on him but on his team. Like you see how like people changed up on the Grizzlies this year because of him and Dylan Brooks. Like people are starting to notice like the Grizzlies locker room.
I'm saying, bro,
they're starting to not like the Grizzlies.
I'm saying, bro, like before the season, the only thing about the Grizzlies that we heard pretty much was the fact that they had the beef with the Warriors, and you know it was all that, and it was like Dylan Brooks and Clay. This season, it seems like Dylan Brooks has taken his beef with the Warriors and Clay and stretched it onto the whole league, and because of that, now Dylan Brooks is in a situation where your team that you play for is saying under any circumstances we're like, you know, like I'm not like I'm like under any circle. If a team tells me under
that
any
was a violation,
like
bro.
seriously, bro, like under any circumstances I can't come back. Even if they did have the money to pay due, they said nah, we not nah. Man. You like, oh, I can come back. Nah, you can walk, man. Free agency that way.
Under any circumstances is basically like a middle finger, bro.
I mean, after you said to LeBron, I don't respect LeBron. He's 40, and then LeBron ends up and the Lakers end up beating y'all by 40. I mean, I mean, literally,
I'd do the same thing.
I'm serious, man. Like, I don't understand. Like with Dylan Brooks, I feel like Dylan Brooks, like you know how you have like players like Pat Bev who will say things and like you know you get under the player's skin and talk trash and stuff like that, and then it's like a whole thing. With Dylan Brooks has no room to be doing that, man. I mean, if you look at him from college to the pros, man, in college, his best year was in college, but I'm not gonna lie. When he got to the league, Dylan Brooks was averaging like a smooth 9 points, maybe 10. And then when Jog, you know, they try to grow with the core, I mean, that's not gonna happen. And Draymond said it completely correct on the podcast. You know what he said? He said, the dynasty is gonna start without you, not with you still on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, many people don't have respect for Dylan Brooks because of that, man. Steph don't. I mean, I'm pretty sure no one has like in the league like any high praise things to say about Dylan Brooks, man. That's why LeBron had to check him before the game. What you gotta say about Dylan Brooks and just that whole thing, man?
I don't know. I think it was just a case. It's just another case of like a player trying to make a name for himself, and he went about it completely the wrong way. He tried to take on a villain role, a role that like when you take that role, you kind of have to perform, bro. Pat Bev, like as bad as people, a lot of people don't like him, but people can admit Pat Bev has had some of those performances where he can lock down a star. Like he's locked down Dame before. You know what I'm saying? Right. Obviously, we're not 10%. We're not comparing Pat Bev and saying like he's better than these players, but like you have to be able to back up your chat, bro. Dylan Brooks did not back it up. In fact, it was he got embarrassed after he chatted. And then what makes it worse is this man cowered. He chose to cower away from the media after he talked all the trash. And then he tried to make it seem like the media made him a villain. He took on that role himself. And he couldn't even stand on the words that he said. So, like, Yeah, and that's what's gonna happen, bro. Like if you're the second seed and you lose a series like that, and one of your players is talking trash in the media instead of focusing on basketball, then
Mm-hmm.
that's what you do. You don't invite them back to play on the team.
Right.
So that's my thoughts on that situation.
Yeah, I mean, for the Grizzlies next year, man, not gonna lie. I mean, we'll see what happens next year. In all honesty, I feel like, um, in all honesty, next year, they're definitely not gonna be a finals team. They're close, but they still need another star. Um, we'll see what happens in the offseason with the Grizzlies and with Ja. But the last thing I want to say about the Ja thing is, like I said before, Ja, many people look up to you. You're a role model to many people's lives, man. You see what you do for the city of Memphis and the amount of pride and excitement you bring to that city when it comes to basketball. You got to tighten up, man, because you displaying this persona and this facade about just how the way you carry yourself. When let's be real, man, you're not about that life, man. You're not about that life, man. And if he is, he is. But either way, whether he is about it or not about it, showing it for the NBA and for people to see who are like, yo, what are you doing, man? Like it's not good, man. Like it's not. So that's my last thing I gotta say about it. Quengo, you gotta say anything else about it, man?
Yeah, like I said before, I'm not the one. I'm not G checking John Morant. I mean, I leave that to what I'm saying, the real
Yeah.
game members to try to G check John Morant. I don't care anything about that. I just know that this man he's about to basically defraud himself out of $200 million, bro. He's about to make decisions so dumb that he ruins generational wealth, and I'm not rocking with that personally. And then two, yeah, like I said, I really don't care if like he's a gangster or not, bro. Like at the end of the day, if he is, he's stupid because he's what I'm saying, playing with guns on the internet. But what I'm saying, at the end of the day, like I said, $200 million to just act right. That's all you got to do and hoop.
Right, right. But yeah, that's it on the job thing. But now, the reason why my voice sounds like this, as I said at the beginning of the episode, man, a lot of things went down, man. And yesterday we had a game. It was a game 7 between the Boston Celtics and Philadelphia 76ers, and it wasn't close. I'm just gonna put it like that. It wasn't close. Tatum, Jason Tatum, baptized us. He dipped us in holy water. Tatum finished the game with 54 points. The Sixers lost by 30. Um, Embiid had 15. Harden had 9. Before you say anything, Krango, can I rant real quick?
Go ahead, say what you please.
How does that happen, man? How does that happen, bro? Like, I don't get it, man. This is our 6th year in the Embiid era of being in the playoffs. We have, sorry, like borderline 6th year being in the playoffs. It's our third time with Doc Rivers being in the playoffs. I don't understand how we go from being up 3-2 to dropping the last 2 games in the series. This, in all seriousness, this series should have been closed out last Thursday. Harden, 45 points game 1, 40 points game 4, I believe. 40 something points game 4. I don't know what happened to him game 5 through 7. It wasn't good. It really wasn't good. It's definitely something you look at and you look at the team up and down and say, is this a team that I can win a title with? It's really upsetting as a fan to look at because you're sitting here investing your time watching the team. You're making excuses for this team when it comes to like the people they get and people who we let go. And you see the people who we let go thriving in other places. Meanwhile, the people we traded them for are not doing what they need to do here. So it's definitely something like that. It's disappointing, man. It's like I told Kwengo this yesterday. Like I'm numb to it at this point, man. Like you thought like heading into the year, I thought it was gonna be different. The way we were winning games, I felt like it was gonna be different. It didn't feel like it. I don't even know what to say about Embiid, man. Like that was the worst performance I've ever seen in my life by an MVP. By an MVP at that. Like you're the MVP.
league, and you're telling me all you could put up was 15 points on 18 shots?
Oh, what about the fact that his playoff average dropped like by 10?
His playoff average like damn near dropped by 10. He went from averaging 33 in the regular season to like what, 20, 23 in this playoff?
Yeah.
It's definitely surprising. And Harden, man, like I don't even know what to say, man. I before the series, I was like Harden should stay next year, but now I'm kind of like, I mean, it was fun while it lasted. I don't know, man. It's really sad to think about.
Listen, I think that there's many like different factors that are like to blame in this series. But who do you think like the number one player like out of everyone on the team is like the biggest like I don't know like
that
who
blame?
holds the most responsibility for what just went down?
You said player or
It
player?
could be anyone. It could be any member of your organization.
One could say Doc Rivers. One could say Doc Rivers, but Doc Rivers is not responsible for how Game 5 ended. No, he's not responsible for how Game 6 and Game 7 ended. My bad. Game 5 we won. Game 6 and Game 7. Let me take you back to Game 6. We all saw Game 6. Game 6, the Sixers had the Celtics on the ropes. Tatum literally had the worst game possible and still found a way in the fourth quarter to turn all that around. Tatum at the end of the first half was like 1 for 10 shooting. People were talking about Tatum was having a stinker or whatever, making jokes about this dude on Twitter. Halftime. Third quarter, same thing. Fourth quarter, everything was looking good. All we had to do for the final 4 or 5 minutes of the game is just close it out. That's all they had to do. They were getting defensive stops. We just needed to score. Because if we would have kept scoring, the game would have been over. Embiid didn't get the ball for the final three minutes of the game.
He didn't call for the ball.
He didn't call for the ball for the final 3 minutes of the game. Harden was going out with stuff that he shouldn't have went out with. And instead of being up, we only scored 2 more points at the end of the game. The final score of the game was 92 to 84 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's really upsetting because you're sitting here like, yo, like...
That's your chance to close the series at home as well. So.
It was 3-2. We're at home. The arena was rocking.
And you would think like once you don't close it at home, you get up on yourself, you get down on yourself, and you're like, bro, like there's no way like we let this next game go by. Like there's no way we don't win this next game. I don't care if it's at their home court. We're gonna come embarrass them. And that's exactly why the day before the day before Saturday, I was telling everyone, I was like, yeah, nah. Harden and Embiid, bro, they won it, man. This is time for Harden to actually make a finals appearance. And Embiid, you know what I'm saying? He's been saying trust the process for about 4 years now. So I was like, yeah, I guarantee the night before they got down on themselves and they said, nah, I don't care where we are. I don't care whose fans are in the building. We're gonna lock in and we're gonna take over this game. And that was actually happening. Like, let's be real. For the
first half,
it was actually happening.
Everything
and
was
to be
clicking.
honest, James Harden wasn't even a problem. Even though he was 1 for 5, I'm pretty sure he had like 4.4 assists. He wasn't the problem, bro. They were still up about 8 at the time. It was like 35-27. I remember.
Yeah, first half, everything
all went downhill from there.
No, here's where. So let me explain, Kwengo. So first half, 52-55 halftime. I'm sitting here like, okay. I mean, Tucker's doing his thing. Embiid, I'm expecting him to be more aggressive second half. Harden's going to turn the dial second half too. I'll go downstairs and I go make a sandwich, Kwengo, because I hadn't eaten, right? And I didn't realize that I missed majority of halftime, so the game was on up here. So I go downstairs and I go make a sandwich. And I come back upstairs and I go to my room, whatever. Look at the score of the game. I'm thinking the score says 62 64 or something. I checked the score, it says 52-64, bro. I'm like, what's going on? I checked Tatum's stats. Tatum won apparently, and no one stopped him yet. There's a stretch where D'Anthony Melton was in the game and PJ Tucker was out the game and he wasn't in. And I'm sitting here like, well, okay, I know PJ Tucker is close to 40, but PJ Tucker has the ability to affect and bother like best like star players. Like, so I mean, like when he was guarding KD in the playoffs, like back in like a couple of years ago, like he was doing that. Wasn't helping that much, but he was doing what he could. So he wasn't in the game. Embiid was doing what he was doing, the little fadeaway thing. Harden was being indecisive when he was driving. Maxey was just throwing up shots. I mean, it was just so much going on, and you just slowly like it's like a slow death, man. It literally felt like a slow death yesterday. You know how like when you get like shot or whatever, and you're bleeding out, and you like like you're gonna die, but like you just it's like slow.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know nothing about that. I ain't never been shot before.
Oh, my fault. That was terrible.
You been shot, bro?
But I've never been shot. But
Oh.
no, but like, bro, it's so you just watch like the joy that you had coming into this game, just like be ripped apart, bro. Like it's one thing to lose a game 7, but losing by 30 in a game 7, and
Yeah, that's bad.
that's terrible, man. Like it's like I don't understand how y'all could just put up a stinker like that in a game like that. Like in the regular season, if that happened, I'd be like, gosh, man, like thank goodness it's not playoffs. But to do that in a game 7, like that's that's an all-time low for the Sixers, man. I just don't know how you can recover like that. Like I don't understand. There's definitely gonna be some offloading in the offseason for sure. If
You
I'm
know,
just
you know what I have to say about that though.
what you guys say?
I think Embiid deserves the most blame out of every player on the floor because I feel like especially for Game 6 in the final moments, there's no way. I don't care what, bro. Those are not the moments where you can break down and be like, my teammate's not passing me the ball, so I'm not gonna call for it. Or if they don't want to pass the ball, I'm just gonna let us lose. Bro, you're 7 foot 300, and
Oh,
there's not a single soul that can stop you from scoring when you want to. Not a single soul.
Quinn, I gotta stop you real quick. I just got a Bleacher Report notification. Said ESPN's Ramona Shelburne reports rumor that it would be hard to see James play for Rivers again in Philly. So, yep. Continue though.
That's crazy, but yeah, 7 foot 300, bro, and there's not a single soul in the league who can stop you when you want to score. There's almost no one, and if they do stop you, it's usually by fouling you. So like you're gonna get to the line. The fact that this man didn't call for the ball shows where his mentality is, bro. In game time, this is crunch time. This is not like last game when y'all were down 20 and y'all were pretty much broken, barely even attempting to come back. This is like a very reachable game. There's 3 minutes left. You know what I'm saying? The game is pretty close. And really, the game didn't really change like too badly for y'all until Tatum's to hit those three threes. Like those dagger jaw. Those were the daggers in Philly's heart. And it was because of the fact that y'all also weren't scoring, bro. Y'all
Yeah,
let
like
them consecutively hit threes while you did nothing in response. And it's because Embiid is the biggest problem in that situation.
there's no way that you're telling me that the MVP of the league, the greatest center in the league in the regular season, just saying an MVP.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you're the MVP of the league and you're not calling for that ball or making sure or calling a timeout saying it's the final 3 minutes of the game. This is my game to lose at this point. Everybody else move out the way. Let me cook unless I need assistance. If I'm the best player on the floor, with all due respect, I have 30, 38, 37-year-old Al Horford on me, who I was scoring on all game 6. If you don't set out ISO, put everybody to one side and let me work Horford or Smart or whoever's guarding me in the paint,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't understand why they didn't
And
do
now
that.
that I think about it, like Doc needs some blame too, bro, because like if you pay attention to some of the best teams, bro, like one thing Spo does, bro, he switches players that he doesn't want guarding on Jimmy. He switches a much worse defender, and he lets Jimmy go to work. And it's so hard to guard switches. Like it is it's almost impossible now because once you double screen, someone has to switch. Like you might not get the two players to switch, but one player is going to switch, and that's all Jimmy needs. I don't see how that y'all weren't doing that for Embiid. I don't see how y'all would rather let him play in the free throw line area and continue to slow down the offense, bro. I don't understand. And also, when that free throw line jump shot doesn't fall, you don't score. So, man, it's just horrible, man.
Here's the thing as well, bro. Here's the thing as well that people are missing too. And Doc Rivers, bro. I'm not saying all the blame goes on Doc, but you're up 3-2 at home. Doc Rivers said at the end of a post-game interview for Game 6, he said that there was not a lot of trust. Now, one could say that could be on the players because as a coach, there's only so much you can do. You could put as many schemes or anything into the offense, and
The players got to execute.
the players got to execute it. There was there's one possession where we got to stop on defense, and Harden came down the court and just dribbled and just pulled up a three for the center court without letting the offense get set. And I'm sitting here like, okay, maybe 5 years ago I'll be like, good, all right, shoot that. But why are you shooting that with a full shot clock? What are we in a rush for? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's facts. And even for what people have to understand is that like when players like Harden, I would say Luka less, but especially Harden, because Harden has been, and even D'Lo, players like that, when they come up the court and pull up without the offense getting set, even if they make it, it will never ever qualify as like the best shot possible. It will never ever be a good shot. Like just because a guy can make it doesn't mean it's a good shot, because there's always something easier. And the fact that like 5 years ago it was a bad shot, Harden could make it, yes, but it was still a bad shot. But the fact that he's doing this now, like game time when it really matters, when you have a dude like Embiid, who is actually the most unstoppable big in basketball offensively.
Come on, like just like I mean like the way this team was constructed too felt like compared to past teams, except for the Jimmy Butler team, but this team was constructed to compete come playoff time. This team was
and something does need to be said about Jaden McDaniels not playing.
I was saying that to you yesterday. I was saying there's no reason that Jaden McDaniels, one of the guys that we picked up during the trade deadline, was not getting minutes during this series like that.
And the reason he got picked up is because teams are starting to realize he's young and he looks like he's going to be one of the best defensive wings in the league. But why is he not playing on the wing?
Don't understand, man. I don't understand. And, that says a lot, too.
And just think about that lineup, too. So who would be in that lineup?
James, Maxey. You plug in McDaniels for Harris.
Exactly.
Tucker. And, yeah. Because why in the world
is Harris playing?
Why in the world is Tobias Harris guarding Jason Tatum?
Yeah. Tobias Harris has never been known for defense. He hasn't been known for much, actually, honestly, if we're being honest.
When he first was on Philly, I was like, cool. That's another person to help Jimmy out. All good.
And he's touching max numbers too. He's in a final 2 years or 1 to 2 years of his max.
I'm telling you, if the Sixers give this dude a max contract, bro, I already said I can't be a Sixers fan no more, man. I'm gonna go Wizards, man. But like, bro, I don't understand just like the direction of this team. I don't understand how you have this many stars, all-stars come through your team and you have no championships to show for it.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, the Sixers should
Y'all let Jimmy go. Y'all let Jimmy go for it to keep Tobias, which is crazy to me. Honestly, it should be an argument like if Jimmy is like top 5 in the league based off of what he's done. Like, I know like sometimes during the regular season he's averaging 23. His numbers don't look so great. He's not playing like more than like 55, 60 games. So like,
ever since Jimmy has left the Sixers,
he's been in the Eastern Conference Finals 3 times.
Forget about that. He's been to the finals. He's been in the finals, man. The year after we got rid of Jimmy Butler, he went to the finals.
Yeah.
The following year, we made it. We made it farther, but we lost in the second round. I mean, and also too, the year after that, we played them in the playoffs, and Jimmy absolutely killed us the whole series. Every time he plays us, he kills us. He literally went to locker room and said Tobias Harris over me.
Mm-hmm.
Embiid loved Butler, man, because Butler was bringing out the best in Embiid.
He's a competitor.
He's a competitor. He's a dog. He could close out games and stuff. That's what we needed. And I'm not saying that, of all means, Harden is a good player. But Harden, I'm going to be real. Harden, yeah, he definitely opened up another sort of skill set for Embiid and what he could do. But Harden is not the Harden of old. Like, he's not going to be the one you go to close out games anymore. You're going to your best player on the team, which is Embiid.
Let's look at this, though. He had 40. Both times when he dropped 40, y'all won. Let's look at that though.
One of them was without Embiid.
Exactly. At home against Boston. That was one of the games when we thought what happened in Game 7 to y'all. That was what we thought was going to happen that game.
I'm not gonna lie, that is true. But you could make the argument for Game 4. No, was it Game 4? It was Game 4. You could make the argument for Game 4. Let's be real. Harden did do that, yes. But hold on, I'm about to pull out the stats right here.
Well, Maxey dropped 30? Or was that 5?
That was 5.
That was 5. That was 5.
Let me see. Let's see. I can't even find it. The only thing that's showing. Hold on. Here we go. Game 4, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Embiid had 34 that game. Harden had 42, but was a -6 on the court.
He was a -6 on the court?
Yeah. As far as efficient. I don't even know. He had.
That's hard to do.
I'm saying, like, I don't know how, like, the plus minus is a -6, but the -6 on the court. Embiid was 0, 34, 13, and 34 and 13. I don't understand how this sort of team couldn't show up for Game 7, but, that's just how it is, man. But, yeah, and then you look at Game 7. Just sad, man. No way the leading scorer on your team should have 19 points. Nobody in the starting 5 was plus anything. Everybody in the starting 5 was a minus. Tucker was a -11. Harris was a -21. And B -28, -31, and Harden -30.
What game is this you're speaking of?
Game 7. This is yesterday.
Yeah.
There's no reason that this could happen, man. There's no reason that you're the best player in the league and you're having a stinker like this, man. You can't be MVP with 15 points, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, in Game 7, bro, when you need it.
In a Game 7, man, you can't have this. You can't have this. It's unacceptable, man. It's unacceptable. So, I mean, let me ask you this, Kwengo. If you're on the Sixers, if you're the GM, your ability to make moves in the offseason, what are you doing this offseason? What are you doing to better the Sixers team?
So, what does Harden's contract look like? Is it a 2-year or 1?
I know he took a pay cut this year. I think he took a pay cut. I think it was a 2-year. I think this was his last year.
Oh, this was his last year?
I think so.
Oh. Well, I was just thinking about like Harden's contract.
It was a 2-year player option on the second year.
Oh, okay. I was thinking about since he has his player option, so that's different. But I was thinking like if he didn't have a player option, I would do everything in my power to get Mikal Bridges, man. I don't know, man. He and you can tell he still wants to play in Philly. As much as he likes Brooklyn, I feel like that was the thing to do even when he went to Brooklyn, man. That was the thing to do, man. It was to try to get him. But the problem was y'all were gonna have to probably give Maxey up, and I don't know. It might be worth giving up Maxey if you can get Mikal Bridges. Probably some picks as well, but during this offseason, it doesn't look like Harden's coming back from that Bleacher Report thing. So right there, y'all just gonna free up cap space there. I don't know, man. You could try to go after Dame. I don't even know if Embiid's gonna
win. Dame not even coming anymore, man. When Embiid said in that press conference yesterday, everyone any chance for Dame to come to the Sixers, man.
And I remember that was a valuable option a couple of years ago, or maybe last season when it was like Dame. Remember everyone was saying Dame.
Yes, bro.
I think that was before Harden even re-signed. So Yeah, that was a very viable option. But now it's just like, man, what are your options? Like, who's on the market for you to grab right now? Maybe Zach LaVine. I don't know, but like, I know your team can be contending. Let's be real, the Sixers can still be contending next year.
No,
If you keep Embiid and you offload the roster with a lot of these players who, like, no disrespect, but Niang goodbye, Tobias Harris goodbye. You can offload these players and get. You don't even you. The thing about the Sixers is y'all just needed to build more strategically. Like, your players, it's not like they're not good enough. It's just the team is not strategically built. This is not a strategically built team. All you have is James Harden. Well, from what I'm looking at, James Harden, and then y'all brought McDaniels, didn't even utilize him correctly. But then y'all have Niang coming off the bench when you need to hit some threes. Like, come on, bro. Is that a joke, bro? Y'all let Seth Curry go. It's just like, this team is not built well, man. It's not built well, and the few players who can do something, their impact is they're not able to make the impact that they, like McDaniels. He wasn't able to make the impact that he was brought to make because he's not seeing floor time. So then there's that, and then I think you have to give it to Doc Rivers too. Realistically, they let someone else come in, like maybe Monty, man.
I don't even know, man. Honestly, if I'm if I'm I'm a GM, first thing I'm doing, man, I'm offloading Harden. I'm gonna let Harden walk. Letting Harden walk. I'm letting Tobias walk. Tobias, you don't need to come back. Honestly, I would say get rid of Niang, bro, and get us like another shooter. Niang is nice, man, but he's getting up there in age, and I just need another shooter. Like Bojanovic would be nice for us.
Yeah, no. There's nothing wrong. I'm not saying Yang is like bad, but like, they're better options. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
saying, yeah, there's no,
If you really
yeah.
want to contend, bro, like, you definitely make an upgrade from Yang, bro.
Honestly, I feel like with the Sixers, if the Sixers want to do this right, because Maxey has flashes, but I think they need to build this team around, instead of Harden and Embiid, Maxey and Embiid, because Maxey plays fast, or build the team around Maxey, man. With all honesty, Embiid's our best player, yes, but Embiid's about to be 30. Embiid is, honestly, if we could get somebody better for Embiid, do that, but I don't even know, because with Embiid, it's just a whole thing of you don't know which one you're gonna get. I don't like he got MVP, and many people said that because he got the MVP, his hunger, his competitive edge is gone. I mean, if he plays for Philly next year, it's all going to come down to what he does in Philly next year, man. If it's more or less like it is this year, you know, he's gonna walk. But I feel like even with that, Embiid probably is gonna look for other options to play. And even as a Sixers fan, like you can't even be mad at him because he's, you know, he's tried, every season to win, and it just hasn't gotten over the hump.
I'll say this, like, to like, to his in his defense, kinda, he's been pretty unlucky to be on a part of that organization. Like, Philly front office is just pretty bad, man.
Yeah.
Y'all have given up a lot of good picks. Y'all have traded some really good players like Mikal Bridges, man.
Forget about that. We could have drafted Jason Tatum. We drafted Fultz over Tatum. We drafted.
Fultz wasn't even a bad draft pick, which is the
He
crazy.
wasn't. He wasn't even a.
The
I don't
problem
know.
is that, and then that's another Philly mess up. Like, if you're gonna draft Fultz over Tatum, fine, but then you rehabilitate his arm incorrectly and ruin his jump shot. And it's just like, yeah,
We could have drafted him. We could have
y'all
drafted.
had Ben Simmons at one point, and y'all
He
had built the
could
team
at
around
one
him.
point we could have drafted Giannis, but no one expected Giannis to like be what he was when he got here. But
Yeah, fair enough.
we could have drafted Giannis. It's a lot of people we could have drafted. It's sad to really think about. Just seeing how many people we dropped the ball on in the draft, like Zaire Smith. Like yeah, we traded Michael Bridges from Zaire Smith, who before coming to the Sixers, I saw no highlights of, none of that stuff. Who else we draft? Jalil Okafor, another one. There's a lot of people who we drafted where it's like question marks about it. So just seeing, you know, just what the team is now, man. It's sad to really think about. But yeah, what do you think the state of the Sixers is? What do you think the state of the Sixers is just heading into like the next season and everything?
There's two different ways y'all can go. Y'all can go. Y'all can scrap everything and rebuild. I wouldn't say that is what needs to go on. I don't think y'all need to scrap everything and then rebuild. What I do believe is y'all need to scrap the structure in which you built your team, and y'all need to just make improvements to the team and get rid of. Y'all need to find out who wants to be there, let them be there, and get rid of anyone who doesn't. But mainly what I mean by anyone who doesn't, Harden, Tobias, Niang, a couple of other dudes on the bench. No disrespect, like House. Moulton and Shake, I don't know. They're not bad. But you know what I'm saying? Like if you really want to contend, man, you gotta improve that bench, man. You gotta improve that bench and find a way to maybe bring in another star. You might even be able to do it with Maxey and Harden.
I don't know why the Sixers did not pursue Malcolm Brogdon in the offseason last year.
Yeah,
I don't know why we didn't pursue Malcolm Brogdon in the offseason last year.
You know what I didn't like about what y'all did during this year during the trade deadline? You and the Heat both did this. Y'all thought your teams were too good to improve upon with players during the deadline.
I agree.
And that was absolutely that. I even when I saw the Heat doing it, I was like, I've been watching the Heat all season. The Heat, they have been mid all season. In fact, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Heat fans, so I'm friends with a lot of Heat fans. I have to admit, they're mid, and I still believe they're mid. I believe that the Celtics are going to deal with them in 6 or less. I don't believe that they're as good. Like, let's be real, the Knicks, it's just really 2 of their main stars are actually they're just shitting the bed, bro. If we're gonna be honest, bro, that's what happened during the next series. Randall and Barrett just inconsistent, while Brunson has to carry the load on himself. And Tibbs, this man he's not playing smart either. He's not subbing on Obi Toppin, who's a good perimeter shooter, and he's much better than Randall often. He has much better decision making. He has effort on both sides of the ball. So yeah, I don't know. I believe that the Celtics are going to deal with them, but that's one thing the Celtics definitely did. Even after making the finals last year,
they reloaded.
They still went out and improved their team.
Their playoff mantra this year was,
and not just that,
their playoff mantra.
Their players got even better. Derek White got even better.
I'm saying, bro. Like, even after last year, I was like, they're definitely going to be back, man. Like, even with everything that happened with Ime Udoka, Mazzulla, props to him because he's able to take that team and say, forget about what else is going on. We're going to get you back to where y'all need to be at. And they're going to get to the finals, man. I mean, we'll see what happens in this Heat series, but,
listen,
regardless of whether they go back to the championship or not, I still think this season is a success for them with everything that went down.
Don't hold me to this, but the Celtics may sweep them.
The sweep is crazy. You going to say that in front of Sinai?
Oh, no question. And let me tell you why. Like I said, it has been a fluke. No disrespect to Jimmy. I have to accept the fact. I have to give credit where it's due. Jimmy, no question, has played some of the best basketball in his career. But at the same time, come on, bro. The first series against the Bucks, Giannis is only playing for like maybe two games, 2.5 games, maybe. And credit, the Heat outplayed them even without Hero. Honestly, I believe that Hero hasn't been good this season. He has not been a strong part of the Heat this season. So like honestly, I really didn't care that he wasn't there, and I would hope that Heat fans didn't care either. In fact, I would have been glad. But nonetheless, I believe that they got a very fluke series against the Bucks, and they were just better than the Knicks. I can admit that they were better than the Knicks. Like they performed, they outperformed the Knicks. Their players are like a little bit more mature, and like they have more like experience, especially considering the fact that they've been to the finals before and they've made deep runs almost every single year. So like they had the experience, they had the shooters. Their shooters are hitting, and they're locking in defensively. So there's that, and then you also have that combined with the fact that 2 of the Knicks stars are playing a joke of basketball. Like not so much as Barrett, but specifically Randall. he has not been good in the playoffs at all. Like, not even at all. So there's that. Like, I would say the Heat definitely did deserve to win that series. But I would say that so far they've been getting kind of lucky.
Yeah.
Because now that they have to face the Celtics, who have the deepest bench in the East, that bench is terrifying. They get to pull Malcolm Brogdon off the bench. That's not fair. That's cheating. Peyton Pritchard is on their bench. Oh my goodness! Like their bench is crazy. Robert Williams comes off the bench.
Grant Williams, even if they need
Grant
it.
Williams even comes off the bench. They have
It's,
shooters all over.
yeah. I mean, it's just it's so crazy to see how a team like the Celtics could use what they have and utilize everyone to perfection, to the point where they even have players on the bench that they know that if they put them in, they can score, and they
Peyton
don't do
Pritchard,
it.
man.
Like Pritchard doesn't get that much minutes, but if God forbid, if Derek White or somebody got hurt and they needed another shooter on it, like Pritchard would be able to come in and fill that role in perfectly.
Yeah, exactly, man.
So it's definitely a thing where you're sitting here like, yo, like, you don't know what to do. You definitely don't, you don't know what to do as far as the Sixers and everything like that. I already said what I was going to do. It's sad to think about, definitely. I feel like a rebuild needs to happen because you have all these pieces right now and you haven't been able to win with them. So I think you got to go back to, you just blow it up and just start all over again. You have to. I don't think there's like a one more, this is our last chance. Like, no, like if the Sixers would be doing Embiid justice by letting him walk and going to another team where he could win, because he definitely can't win in Philly. And he's had multiple years to prove it. He hasn't been able to. Luckily, he was able to get an MVP, but that's it. I don't think he's gonna win anything else in Philly, man. I think he needs to go somewhere else for that. But yeah, that's what I got to say on the Sixers. Any last words for you on the Sixers, Kwengo?
Yeah, man. I just know there's going to be a lot of movement with that organization during the offseason.
I would not be surprised if, like, one day I get, like, 7 alerts from Bleacher Report about the Sixers alone, man. Like, this is the offseason that needs to happen, though. Like, Doc, it's been real. Tobias has been real. Harden has been real. Embiid has been real. Catch y'all on the flip side for sure. But, all right, so we talked about the Sixers. We talked about Doc Rivers. We talked about James. We talked about Harris. Now we're going to talk about the teams that are left in the playoffs. No, first we're going to talk about the Lakers and the Nuggets. We'll talk about the Lakers and the Nuggets conference finals matchup. What do we think about that matchup? Who you got winning the matchup?
It's an excellent matchup, man. I've been seeing a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, a lot of NBA fans on TikTok, so across all social media, especially like Twitter and TikTok. That's where a lot of toxic fans are. So they're saying, they think the Nuggets are going to win in 5. The Nuggets are going to win in 6. And I believe that this is a 7-game series. Honestly, I can't see I can see the series. Okay, I can't see the series going like anything less than 7. Like right now, from where I'm standing, I believe that the teams are evenly matched. Personally, I give the Lakers the edge. And if I had to make like a prediction, like from what I feel, I would say the Lakers win in 6. But I know the Nuggets are good enough to take them to 7. And I know like these are some pretty evenly matched teams. I would say the one thing the Nuggets have is their scoring, man. Teams struggle to find a way to stop them from scoring because they have so many good passers and shooters. KCP last series, I was seeing him make passes I've never seen him make before. Like he was throwing steamers to Jokic in the paint, and I'm like, whoa. Like, and then you have Jamal Murray, who's very good at passing, and then Jokic, man, he's actually a floor general at 7 feet, and he's almost impossible to guard, especially considering his weight and his turnaround floater, man. That little turnaround hooker floater that he does, man, so hard to stop. But that's going to be a great battle between him and AD, and then it's going to be interesting. One thing I think the Lakers have over them, one is defense, and 2, it's going to be really hard for Jokic to when he gets switched. Jokic cannot play. He can barely play perimeter defense, and he's horrible in high.
Oh yeah. He's
horrible in high pick and roll. So it's going to be interesting to see how they try to combat that. And low key, I'm feeling like that might be their Achilles heel. I'm feeling like the Lakers have they have all the tools to stop the Nuggets, but the Nuggets are also no team to play with. You know, they got MPJ. As
Michael
soon as he
Porter,
touches it, he fires.
Michael never sings the Rock Porter Jr.
Come on. As soon as that man touches the ball,
Oh my!
he's
It don't
always
even
pulling up, bro.
it don't even matter where he is on the court. Half court, free throw
Fully
line,
contested, it does not matter.
fully contested. If you doing like ball movement and you swinging the ball around the perimeter and it touches Michael Porter's hands, he ain't passing them. Right? You might as well go to the paint and get a rebound for that one for sure.
Yeah,
But
all in all, my final words on that, I'm just eager to see them battle, man. Honestly, and I think it's going to be a great series.
I agree. I think about that too. The series, I feel like that and the Heat Celtics series is going to be such a good series to watch. Jamal Murray with Jokic, Jamal Murray. The Nuggets have been able to do the season, and really not even just this season, what they've been able to do for the past couple of seasons when they take players from teams and stuff like that and give them different roles and be able to still compete. Like nowhere in a million years did I think that Aaron Gordon was going to be able to thrive in that system. I'm not gonna lie, because the only thing I knew
What he's doing is actually thriving, man. He
no,
become
yeah, he
a really good defender as well.
yes, because all I remember Aaron Gordon from doing on the Magic was dunking. I did not realize Aaron Gordon could shoot or do anything else like that. Because I'm gonna be completely honest,
Playing, actually make that shot up, man. You got that kind of improvement. That's a good thing. It's a great thing that they're able to like improve him as a player like that.
what they've been doing with Bruce Brown, and even with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, that's also been amazing for him, and it really just helps the Nuggets out a little bit more when it comes to like the weapons they have on the offensive end. Any person on the team is willing and able to get a bucket, and their team, just like Boston, is deep, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see. It's definitely going to be interesting to see in this series which team is able to take advantage of what team and which team will be able to find weaknesses in the other. I feel like it's either going to go 6 or 7. Only because, shout out my man Kwame on this one, but only because Justin was giving my man Kwame a hard time.
Oh, man. You
Oh, my
caused
gosh.
this.
He said, you caused this. He said, sorry, Kwame, man, but I mean, I want the Lakers to get to the finals, man. But even if they don't, I feel like it's going to be a successful season. The Lakers have got it this far. They could definitely win in 7. It's really a toss-up. Both teams really have an equal opportunity of winning, man. I mean, I feel like no team is really favored for this one.
What I would say that I would honestly, like I said, I would give the Lakers the edge in this, man. They just beat last year's defending champs.
They did.
In 6, man. A lot of people said that a lot of people had it the opposite way. It was a lot of people had Warriors in 6. They've been able to do what few teams have been able to do, which is to actually defeat the Warriors at their home court, and then win also almost all of their home games as well.
That was the first time that the Warriors have lost in the Western Conference since Steve Kerr was there.
Yeah, and man, you can't take LeBron for a joke. Like I know a lot of people like talk about how he's old or like he's washed, but 39-9 in a game 6, man, to close like that, and then shooting 71%. Like even me sometimes as a LeBron fan, sometimes I'm just like, man, like he's already hit the peak of his powers, like he's coming down. But like to see him do that, it's just like, when will it end? Like, will LeBron actually? It would be crazy if he somehow manages to pull one of those games as well, and like game time against the Nuggets, man. I mean, it would even surprise me, even being a LeBron fan. You know, a lot of us like to make jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like LeGoat, but like a lot of us understand that he's wearing down, like as a player. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been in the league, what's it, 20 seasons now? But the fact that he's able to still pull off games like this. And then just even the way he is so dominant, man. And if he's able to do this against the Nuggets, and realistically, like there's not a soul on the Nuggets who can really guard him. They don't have a body to put on them realistically. Aaron Gordon's a big dude, but we saw what LeBron did to Andrew Wiggins, who is nearly about 6'8", 6'9", and I thought Andrew Wiggins was gonna lock LeBron up.
Hey, also too, from that Warriors series, I realized, and
you cannot just be going around giving any and everybody the bag that you like because of a one postseason run and
Yeah.
one season. You know who I'm talking about when I'm saying this.
Jordan Poole, man.
Jordan, you cannot be going around giving people the bag after one season. I'm sorry. Like Poole, man, he looks stupid, man, after this one, man. Like that to have a postseason like that, to have a regular season like that, and man, they gonna look to shop you, man. And
Yeah.
yeah. Honestly, I feel like under any other team he would thrive, but not in Golden State, man, because Golden State, he has a role, and I don't think he's accepting his role the right way, and he's trying to be better than what his role like persists that he is. So
Yeah, I don't know. Here's what we also have to talk about, though. Like, if we're going to talk about Jordan Poole, we have to assess, like, if it's the Warriors' fault, like, that he's felt like this as a player, because it's really hard to fall this hard as a player on a team like the Warriors. And I think a big part of it is the fact that the Warriors are still a little too high on Klay. Like Klay is not is he one thing I can admit Klay is still just as elite as a shooter, but as a player, he's not the defender he once was, and like he's still a pretty good shooter, but he's not the shooter he once was. Do you feel like Jordan Poole should be this number two option? Because I've low-key been thinking about that. Like maybe it's because he's like a third or fourth option on this team. It's gonna be really hard to get the shots that you want, as like a third or fourth option. And I think it might be time for him to be moved up to the second and Klay to just be like that guy. It's like,
I don't honestly, I don't know, man. I don't know because Poole, if he's number two option on my team, I don't know which Poole I'm getting depending on what day. And I don't want my number two option to be putting up like BS shots and stuff like that, knowing that they're not going to go in or making plays that the number two option should not be making. You get what I'm saying?
fair enough.
Like in the playoffs, I saw Jordan Poole on a fast break. One dude was like running with him, whatever, on a fast break. And I don't know if he tried to do a reverse layup or he just tried to lay it up. And he missed it completely and he fell like right on his head, bro. Nobody was on him.
Yeah, that's
Saw
bad.
another play. I think it was game two. I think it was game two or the one that the Lakers won in Golden State. And Poole had that wide open three. And Poole, it was like 19 seconds left, and they needed a three to tie the game. And Jordan Poole shot it from the hash mark. Wide open, way too deep. Hit the side I think it hit like the side of the backboard. It was nowhere near going in though. But it was a bad shot. And people were saying like, oh, that's his shot. He's made that before. Like he could have stepped in though. That shot was from Curry land, man.
Yeah. I think they lost that one too. They did.
They did. But yeah, I just don't. They may look to trade him, man. I don't know, but definitely sad to think about, man, for sure. So but yeah, back to what I was saying about the Lakers Nuggets series. It's definitely gonna be a good series. It's gonna be a really good series. I'm looking forward to it for sure. I don't even know what to think. Jokic is going to have his way this series, but it should be interesting to see AD and Jokic play against each other.
Let's be real. Hold. Actually, not even let's be real. Let's ask a question. Do you really think that Jokic is going to be able to do what he did last series to Anthony Davis?
I'm not saying Jokic is going to have 52, but I still feel like he's going to average at least 30 in the series. I don't think he's going to have a 50-point series. If he has a 50-point game in this series, man, like, that's at.
And also, while we do see what Jokic does, we have to remember that AD is every bit as much as dominant in the paint, if not more dominant. So what Jokic does, he's also not going to be able to stop AD from doing to him, especially considering that he's a defensive liability sometimes. We're going to be able to watch AD do the exact same thing. Like how will Jokic react when the Lakers are doing high pick and rolls and sending lobs into the post to AD? Will he just sit in the post? And then if you do that, AD's going to get off his midi and his floater, man. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it is. But now that you talked about game the conference finals game between the Lakers and the Nuggets. Talk about the Heat and the Celtics one. You said that they had. You said that they had them. You said that you had the Celtics sweeping the Heat.
I didn't say I had them sweeping them. I said I wouldn't be surprised if they had swept them. But realistically, I have the Celtics in 5 or 6.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I feel like the Heat are going to get their get back for last year. I definitely think the Heat is most. I think the Heat are definitely able to win this series. I think they most definitely could win this series.
Here's a problem that I often face when I look at series like this. The thing is, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Last series, we barely even saw Jason Tatum be himself.
You talking about the Sixers series?
Yes, we barely even saw him be himself, and we saw what just happened with the Sixers. We saw them somehow come down 3-2, find a way to win that. And James Harden,
Don't remind me.
Jason Tatum only himself maybe 1 or 2 games. He just came off of 50. I believe that they're going to come out and go up 2-0. And once they go up 2-0, I'm saying that they close in 5, man.
You know what I'm not going to lie about? What I feel like the last series was the series for Tatum. Jaylen Brown's going to go off this series for sure. I feel like Jaylen Brown is due to have a big game. Jaylen Brown, since the playoffs even started, Jaylen Brown's been good, but he's most definitely could be better. Jaylen Brown is due to have a huge game in this series right here against Miami.
I think he'll have several. I think they'll combine for several huge games.
For sure.
And I don't believe that the Miami Heat even have the firepower to compete with this team.
If Miami wins this series, man,
we're not even talking about how they're allowed to pull Brogdon off the bench like that. I just believe that's so unfair. And Peyton Pritchard, and it's just like this stuff is wrong.
So for me, I got the. I feel like if the Celtics do win, it's gonna be in 6, but Heat in 7, man. Heat in 7.
Yeah, I don't see this series going more than 5 or 6, to be honest.
Well, we'll see though. But yeah. So we just finished talking about the Heat and the Celtics and the Lakers and the Nuggets. So last thing we want to talk about, man. As you said in the weekly rotation, Youngboy's new album dropped.
Come on.
I don't listen to Youngboy, but K Jug does. But Youngboy's new album dropped, and apparently he took a shot at J. Cole on his song. You want to explain this, Kwengo? Because
yeah. So firstly, that's them from I remember during quarantine, I saw an interview and it was like J. Cole. He was gonna do a feature with Youngboy, but apparently Youngboy had I guess he thought Youngboy had copped out and didn't want to do it anymore, but Youngboy didn't give him any advance or heads up. So J. Cole had talked about it in the interview, and yeah, I don't know if he was mad or anything about it. I don't know, but then I remember Youngboy responded one day and said that he was going through something with his family type stuff, so he couldn't make it to the studio. But yeah, so basically in this song, I believe Youngboy made this song because of the fact that he saw Lil Durk's track list. Apparently, it was leaked a couple of days ago, and supposedly he has a Drake feature on this new album, another Drake feature, and he also had probably seen All My Life as well on this track list with J. Cole. And basically, Youngboy feels like from what he said, in his songs and stuff, and just in interviews, he feels like, one, he's being blackballed, and 2, I would say that's true because I don't think there's any other artist that has 50 gold and platinum plaques that has not even been nominated for a best rap song of the year. He's had some pretty big songs, and then 2, a lot of these rappers are just it is true that they're clicking up, man. I mean, if it's true what he said in this song, he said that he talked to Drake on FaceTime, and Drake was like, he can't do a song with him because he messes with Dirk too much. And how Dirk and Youngboy in between had that little King Von situation. Yeah. So yeah, dude, he said that Drake had told him he can't do a song with him because he's too loyal, because he was just being loyal to his man. So respectable, but I feel like that's the way it should go in rap. That's the way it's always went. Realistically, with even Kendrick. A lot of people are getting on Youngboy and saying bro, Youngboy, he's too violent, he's beefing with himself. If y'all don't remember when Kendrick dropped Control verse completely unprovoked, that was completely unprovoked, and he violated tons more rappers. So like I feel like that's the way it should work with music, especially like rap. Like that's kind of how the art was created. Like just like you know what I'm saying, on the corner of the street, two people going at it. It's just like I feel like it's one of the purest forms. So like I don't see anything wrong with the song, and I mean I like this song. I like the song. I like the bars on the song. I like what he said. I also like the J. Cole and Lil Durk song. So yeah, and I feel like J. Cole is definitely gonna respond. He won't dedicate. J. Cole never dedicates songs to usually for disses, but like in his next verse, he'll probably say something about Young Boy. You know what I'm saying? The subliminal.
Yeah, I mean, Young Boy, I feel like with him, I mean, I don't listen to his music, but all I know is that basically, probably not the best person to, take a dig at, which is Cole. You saw what Cole did when Pump made a dig at him and stuff like that. But
Pump and Young Boy are not comparable.
oh
Like
yeah,
Pump
I
is
know,
not
I
artist,
know,
bro.
I know. I'm saying, I know. I'm definitely not saying that, but like, definitely, I don't think he doesn't want to make a dig at him and stuff like that. I mean, we'll see what happens. Regardless, I mean, I feel like Young Boy's gonna get a whole lot more publicity and stuff with that. Definitely more people gonna be checking him out because of that, and vice versa with Cole too.
Wow.
So,
Well, here's what I have to say. I personally feel like Cole, bro, like realistically, when it comes to like dissing Cole, like that's not scary at all, bro. Like dropping a J. Cole diss, bro. He's not some dude that he's known to dismantle people on beats. Like that's Kendrick. Like I wouldn't want to diss like Kendrick. Like he'll really dismantle you on a beat, like violate you. So like I feel like that's another reason why he did that, because like it's Cole, bro. Like he can rap, but he's just not known to. Not saying he can't drop a good diss. And then also the last time we saw him drop a pretty solid one was Groundhog's Day, I think, against Wale. And then we saw them at the game together, like the basketball game together, like shortly after. So,
but yeah, any last words on that, Klingo?
I'm just saying that Young Boy Richest Op, man, that joint was different.
Oh
He was sounding like old YB, man. And I just want to say, man, yeah, great album.
Yeah. Well, agree to disagree, but that's a story for another day. But
Here we go, bro. You're a Cole fan, bro. You're a Cole fan.
But yeah, like I said, story for another day. But that's been the podcast, man. We thank you guys for tuning in to the Youngbouls Podcast as always. We're gonna be doing things a little bit differently this summer, man. A whole lot more things in the works for this podcast. Me and Kwengo, a whole lot of things in the works for us too. Definitely gonna be hearing a lot from Kwengo more as the summer progresses and stuff like that. Yeah. Kwengo, you got any words you want to say to the people, man?
I just want to say, you know what I'm saying, Lakers in 6.
Gosh, man.
Saints were coming next season.
Saints are coming next season.
17-0. 17-0. We're coming for 2023, 2024 Super Bowl ring. Yeah, that's all I got to say, man.
But as always, check us out. We're going to probably have a new episode next week. As always, check us out. Thank you guys for tuning in. And peace. Thank you.
All right, thank you.